What if the secret to perfect parenting was admitting that none of us have a clue?
The truth, we're two real moms figuring it out in real time and keeping it real along the way.
Each episode, we're calling BS on perfection and bringing you raw combos with parents and professionals who aren't afraid to go there.
Because what if the real parenting hack was dropping truth bombs instead of pretending like we got it all together? Let's get into it.
Welcome back to Truth Moms. It's been a couple weeks since we've recorded. I feel like we've rested and you can tell we have some energy today.
Yeah.
We have some really awesome things to talk about.
I was just telling Courtney, I said, sometimes I feel like it's when we do this stuff and we like think too hard on it. It's like when you play a video game too long, like when you're old school. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait, no, I was gonna say you need to hide your hand right now. Do you want to wait? Do you want to cut that out?
No, it's all right. It's all right. We're engaged, bitches. Okay, wait.
So exciting. Yeah, just go show the camera. You mean this? I'm going to cry right now. No, so.
And I got it fixed in time for Christmas. They were like, oh, yeah, resizing is going to take about 2 weeks. PJ was like, no. We stayed there. They got it done that day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was like, not having it.
He's like,
I didn't wait this long to put a ring on your finger for it to take 2 weeks to fit. And I was like, okay.
How are you feeling?
I feel good. It's so funny. People are like, when you're not in the engaged club or like in the married club, you're like, oh, it's no different. Like when you have like a long, because we've been together for 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
And, but I'm wrong. It does feel different. Like to belong to somebody is kind of cool.
It is. And I feel like for you, like I was thinking about it, like the way that you've done it, where you've obviously had your relationship, then having kids before getting married. I was kind of jealous. Not gonna lie, that you have your 2 kids that are gonna be in your wedding to see that and have those pictures and just like how special it is.
Yeah.
Just to like have them there in that moment.
It's so funny because we literally just had that conversation about kids in the wedding. You and I.
Oh yeah. Yes.
And I'm like, well, I just texted Courtney. I was like, well, I feel like I just want every little girl to like, because I've had enough friends in the last couple of years that have had weddings and like kids weren't allowed or kids are not like, you have certain people that are in your wedding. And I have so many, all of our friends, I guess we should how do we start this? Like, how do we even go? Should we start from the beginning of like, all my friends were there at my engagement. Like,
do you want me to start from like how it all happened and like who was behind it all? And then you go and tick it up?
Yes. Okay.
So, I get a text on, I don't know if you know how short notice this was. Do you know this?
No.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't tell then. You want me to tell this part?
Well, I know that he was thinking about it for over a year because he had asked my grandfather like months ago.
Okay. Yes.
And I said to my mom, I said, I guess he's not, because, my grandfather's been not in well health and everyone's like concerned about his, he's being all there. And I was like, well, he lied really good because he kept the secret from everybody. So he's not all gone,
Do you know about the parts where he was trying to do it in a different location?
Yeah. Yes.
About I don't want to tell too much. Yes. Cheekwood. Okay.
Yeah.
So he was trying to do it at Cheekwood, and Cheekwood's like this really fancy garden essentially in like an estate.
It's like Longwood Gardens if you're from the north.
It was like a plantation at one point.
I'm not sure.
It's a historical estate for sure. Yeah. It's in the most wealthy historical part of Nashville, and it's beautiful. It's Cheekwood Gardens. And they have all these lights and whatnot. And it's like, number one, they didn't have a spot, I believe. And number 2, it was like astronomical for like them to like, it was that you had to have all these components. You had to like use their like planner. You had to use their photographer. It was all of these things that you had to do. And I believe that he decided not to do it. Don't quote me on that. That's what I was just told.
No, you're right. That was like, and I think we had this conversation about Opryland, right? It's like when they have these huge kind of like, what would you call them? Like destination places, like Disney Worlds of the place.
Yeah,
like
we were talking about sound waves and how I'm like, why did they do this? Yes, I went off on a bit of it at on Instagram. I was like, why don't they let the locals in? Like,
yeah, and I guess like in a weird way, I get it, right? Everything's a money grab, Cheekwood. But like it's such a low like we weren't asking for high production. We have a friend who's a photographer. We had all of our friends who were like, it was just something and I get it. It's the middle of the highest season for them because it's Cheekwood, like and they do the lights and all of that stuff. But it was some like crazy price. And then they were like, oh, and by the way, can't do it until February. And he was like, well, that doesn't That's not what I'm asking.
You had said that week to somebody that it would be really cool to get engaged under the lights. So I think this is what just like sped it into like speed control. And so we had such short notice to like get everything together. But we were all like on board, like, yes, done. Like we'll be there. Like,
well, he could have waited until next Christmas, I guess, if he wanted to really do that. But he like,
oh, shut up.
There's no way that was going to happen.
No.
So, but also like the whole thing. I guess he had ordered the ring or whatever, and like so then originally he thought something. I think he was going to do something in the summer, and then that sped up the Christmas lights. And then it came in and he was like, oh no, I'm not winning. So then one of my girlfriends was like, he was trying to do it on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Like he wanted it to be in the tree. And I was like, that's actually kind of cute. But you know, what's so funny is I don't pin all of this at all. Like the fact that he was a blubbering idiot. Like I just like in the best way, by the way. Like I just like the fact that he was nervous trying to, none of this sounds like PJ to me.
No, it's not. Like he was so nervous and just so thankful for everyone getting there and oh, it was just so cute. Like he's just usually like such a stoic, like chill, like
yeah, you never know what he's really thinking.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you're like, are you in a bad mood? You know,
yeah,
but
he was no, I'm fine. My like just completely just
I'm like, is there more to the story that you want to talk about? Yeah, but no, it's and honestly that's kind of our method, right? It was like it's like 0 to 60 and I brought my vision board because I wanted to start that. The whole backstory of all this was just funny to me that when I really took a step back and I looked at it, I was like, wow, it was supposed to happen the way it happened.
Yeah.
You know, we're just coming out of the Christmas season. And, you know, one of the things that they were talking about yesterday was the Feast of the Holy Family. And it was like the fact that, you know, the way things happened for, you know, Jesus and all of that, you know, you would expect, you know, the King of Kings to be born in like this great, you know, palace or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he was born in the stable. And so it's like humble beginnings are part of what we're bred and bought in. And that's what I loved anyway. I really didn't need any like big production. And the only people that I really would have wanted there were the people that were there anyway, besides like my grandparents who cannot be here, you know, they're sick. So like,
right.
But to know that he actually called them and like had that conversation and like got his blessing. That was really huge. That was so huge because, you know, I didn't really until this year really get into feeling a traditional, like I was like, you know, super modern woman, like doing my thing, making my own choices, living my own way in the world. And then like when Lenny was born, something truly shifted.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a couple months ago that I remember just being like, I woke up, this is going to sound silly. And I honestly, if anybody's listening to us and they're like, you know, I am that person, like the universe, the stars, the signs, the zodiacs, like I really got into that, you know, like this is where my life's meant to be. Like, I'm going to show you in a second. Like I had a vision board, like a manifestation board where I'm like, oh, this is, you know, like I'm going to manifest my life. Like, and I think those are all good things to use as a tool for hope.
Mm-hmm.
But I think sometimes we use them as like, this is what's going to happen, right? Like aura readers or palm readers. Like I was telling you, this was the first year where I was like, I'm not going to do a palm reader. I'm not going to get involved because I just really wanted to be in my walk with my faith. Like
Mm-hmm.
something convicts me now to like change it. So anyway, the long of the short is I really never in my life anyway wanted it to be big.
Mm-hmm.
And I have always said to any boyfriend, I didn't even want a big wedding if I ever got married. Not when. It was always if. And at some point in my life, I didn't even think I was getting married. Like I was like, this is not a thing I want.
Yeah. I mean,
know?
I would say even when we started this podcast, I don't think you were on the marriage train at that point. And that's only a year ago.
And I still am at the point in my life where I would say to people, like, if you're feeling that way, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, but it's also okay to change. I think the thing I'm learning in this season of my life is like, it's okay to, you know, with you and with Kara and with Kayla, like all of my friends, what I think the lesson that I'm learning is like that we all have a past. We all have things that we, you know, we maybe were convicted to say or do or think or feel at a certain point, and it's okay to change that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for a very long time, I didn't think I could because I was so like anti-marriage, not even, I'm just like, it's not my thing. Like it's not for me. And truly, I would still say that it isn't for me in the sense of like what I thought marriage was.
Right. But now you
so my
kind of
view on marriage has changed because of my feeling of what marriage is.
Well, you've also kind of been living that marriage life. Like I've even heard you a couple times like randomly be like, my husband. And I'm like, did you guys get secretly married?
Yeah.
And you're just like, no, but like, it's easier just to say that. And I'm like, I mean, you are living that life, but
Right.
like making that full on commitment and like doing the whole wedding and all that and everything is beautiful. And the way that you got here, I think is really, really beautiful.
Right.
So
Thank you. And then why I think it said that too, like in our, like, so I guess we'll go from the beginning is like that day. So Kayla had called me and was like, hey, we're going to do Christmas photos. I'm like, great. Cause I haven't really done much for Lenny this year with Christmas. I didn't get Christmas cards out this year. And I was like, that's awesome. Cause then I'll be able to get Christmas cards out. And for whatever reason, the boys were going to be separated. And I was like, well, that doesn't make very much sense because like why would we have family photos and not the boys? She's like, they'll join us later, but they're going to make a brisket. And I was like, okay, oh, that's fine. And then she was like, oh, by the way, I'm going to go to Facebook. I bought something off Facebook Marketplace by your house. So I'm actually going to go pick you up. And I remember I should have known at this point that something was up because usually PJ agrees with me on things and he did not agree with me. But I was just like, and I love Kayla. This is not like if she's listening, this has nothing to do with you as a person. This was just like, I don't want to, everything's getting complicated and I don't want to be, I'm not in the mood. I don't want to get
you're
dressed
like,
up.
it's just a photo shoot. Like, why are we overcomplicating
Right.
this?
I'm like, I was like, I don't want to get dressed up. Cause then she said that the dudes weren't going to be there because it was just a photo for the kids. I'm like, that's great. I'll just get the girls ready. And she was like, no. Like just in case you end up in a photo, you want to have makeup on. I'm like, I don't want to put makeup on.
No, I literally, when I'm talking to Kayla, I'm like, how are you going to get this to happen? She's like, I'm going to get this to happen. It's just going to happen. I'm like, well, what if she doesn't want it? And she's like, don't even.
She's the queen
she's
of
like,
positivity.
She's
Like there was
you
was
can't
no
say
way.
no to Kayla.
You just can't.
No.
She just will just shit.
She just looks at you and just rubs your arm. She's like, but and you're like, yes.
Well, right. And that's what PJ was like. PJ was like, Kayla just wants to do nice things for you. And she's such a good friend to you, Brittany. Like she just, and I was like, so I can't cancel. He's like, I don't think you should cancel. I think you should have a good
love
day.
to cancel.
I have to get ready. I know. I love to cancel. But this part of my life, I want comfort. And I have to get out of that zone of like being like, it's okay to cancel because I just need to get out of that bubble.
I mean
right
that
now.
very like lovingly. Like yesterday we were trying to get this all set up and she was like, I was really hoping you would cancel. I was just like, we got to get this done.
I know.
I'd love to cancel too, but I know.
And I hate
feel
to
better.
say it with the pregnant lady in the room. I just like lately I'm just so tired. I was just like, I was talking to PJ about how the fact that like I have so many different things right now in my life going on and like there's no time to just rest.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I have to get out of that stage though.
Yeah, but it makes sense. I mean, I'm in the same obviously stage. There's only like two people I want to hang out with. I want to hang out with my family, you, and another couple that we hang out with all the time. And I don't want anything to do with anyone else.
I don't need
like,
anything
I'm
extra.
like, I don't even,
Yeah,
like,
I feel that.
I want to be in my comfort zone and that's it.
But anyway, so somehow she's telling me all these different plans are changing, and there's like, oh, you wear this, and I'm like, I don't have anything for the babies to match because like the Christmas, because she was like, let's do Christmas photos, but she had asked me that 2 days ago, and I was like, I don't the Christmas dresses that I ordered weren't coming in for whatever reason, and so I was like, I'm gonna have to mismatch something, and somehow I'd bought these Newly, I have a subscription on Newly. So thankfully I had something to wear because I don't even know what I would have if I didn't have this outfit from Newly. But so we get dressed up. She picks us up. And she's just talking to me about random stuff. And I just remember being like, I just don't want to talk right now. Like I can't remember. Like I was just so tired.
Of this?
Yes.
Okay.
She was like, she kept saying something and I'd be like, oh, literally, Courtney has said this. I have this face that is just like, it's not a bitch face because I would say like it's not. I'm not like not liking my friends. I just like zone out maybe like in
No, you just like
what?
It's like a concerning face. Like you're like
I'm processing information. Okay, I'm like
I don't know. I'm just like sorry for speaking.
No, it's really I'm dial up. Like I'm serious. Like I am quite literally taking the things you say and it's coming in fragmented and I'm trying to piece it together. Like I just
it just sometimes when I'm editing, I'm like, she did not like that. It's okay. Anyways.
Or I'm just maybe confused. I don't know. So anyway, so that's happening. And gosh, we were talking. I can't. So it's hard to like say this because it all like I keep going back to things that had happened days before and prior and how this is all connected, which is so crazy in all of this. But the day before that, I told you, and I'm sorry if this sounds preachy to anybody, but like I feel pretty much convicted in my faith right now. And it's just something that I've been walking through. And I went to confession when I was in Philly. And I remember talking to the priest about like, it had been 20 some years since my last confession. I don't even know what to be sorry for. I know that I've done all these things. I've lied, I've cheated, I've stolen. And so he goes into being like, yeah, you're the prodigal daughter. Like you are truly a prodigal daughter. Like you left and you came back. I was a cultural Christian. I grew up in the Catholic faith. I went to Catholic school, and then I balled out after, I graduated high school, and I did what I wanted to do, and I became of the world. And then it wasn't until Lenny, until I was like, man, this word surrender was really getting to me.
Mm-hmm.
So he says in the confession, he's like, you just have to surrender. You have to surrender your ego. You have to surrender your pride. You have to surrender your anxiety, because
you have said this word before on the podcast in a different context. And I feel like it might be your word of the year.
Yeah, it is. It truly is the word surrender. Because truly, and this is going to go into why I feel that like when I said like with marriage, my view on marriage as a necessity hasn't changed. It's my view on what marriage is.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a hard time surrendering to anything because I need to be in control. I'm a firstborn child.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a firstborn child of a single mother. I'm a firstborn child of a single mother in Philadelphia. We lived in a hustle and bustle kind of ideal lifestyle. And so the idea of surrender just kept coming back. And I was like, when I tell you, I was waiting in line for this confession, and it was like 6 people ahead of me, and it was taking so long.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept looking up. So my parish is Our Lady of Fatima, and I just kept looking at Our Lady, and there's these little children, and I'm like, man, she's the mother of all mothers, right? And so I was like, man, what would a good mother say? What would a good mother say? And I just couldn't like get there. So when I finally I'd worked myself up, that I just started bawling, because I was like, I don't know what to be sorry for. I'm just sorry for all of it. And he was like, you have to let go of this anxiety. Like what? And then so he quotes this scripture, which is the scariest thing that he does this, because he talks about Matthew and this idea of anxiety and, what do you gain by an hour of your day? So it's a bit, it comes from the Sermon on the Mount. I think there's one in Luke and one in Matthew, but it talks about what do you gain by worrying 1 hour of your day? Like, think about the birds in the air. Does the God, they neither reap nor sow, but God provides them no matter what. Are you not of more value than they? So really what he was saying was, obviously animals are beautiful. I'm not saying they're not worth anything, but you are human. You're super special to God. You're made in the image and likeness. So if he provides for them and he loves them, where does he stop loving you? Like, how could you think he couldn't love you, especially if you're sorry?
Right.
Unbeknownst to this priest, when I made a manifestation board. I make one every year for the new year, which is kind of fitting for this episode. And for whatever reason, in the last couple of years, my manifestation board has gone from things like I want a new house, I want a new whatever, to qualities.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to feel success. And of course there's like, I want 500,000 followers,
Like lifestyle.
But lifestyle changes.
Mm-hmm.
So last year, I went to like I was in a Michael's, and it was just River and I, and there's these Christian women that were like selling books in the parking lot.
Sure you weren't at Hobby Lobby?
No. It was no, maybe it was Hobby. No, I don't remember. It was a couple years ago.
Okay. That was supposed to be a joke, but
oh, okay. Wait, could be. No, I'm pretty sure it was Michael's. Because Michael's in Belmead. And so we stopped. We stopped at, oh my gosh, there's a red cardinal. Can you please look at that? Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's like right there.
This is gonna make so much sense. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. Okay, wait. This was my.
Oh, I know what you're freaking out about. Oh my gosh, it's like right there.
This is sitting with us.
Yeah.
Okay. Full body chills. Ready for this? Okay. Here's some shit.
Okay, so the Michael's thing.
I'm working on the cursing. Jesus is coming into my life, guys. But so the women, they sell these books, and people are so mean to these women because obviously, like, nobody wants to be like swindled. I don't know where they're coming from, but I was like, whatever, I'll buy a couple books from you. I gave them $50, and I just bought a bunch of like stuff. That last year, And so I've had these for 2 years, right? I didn't use them, didn't look at them. They're just in a box in my closet.
Yeah.
Just happened upon last year when I went through our, like our phase of stuff to get rid of things.
You were like nesting.
When I was in my nesting phase, I found this box again. So I made this box. I made this, part of my vision board. So I was like, I'm just going to throw a couple of quotes in there. So the quote that I put in the middle of the board is not life more than food and the body more than clothing. Look at the birds of the air, for they neither reap nor sow nor gather in barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? It's the exact quote
That he said to you
That he
when you
said
were
to me.
in confession.
In confession.
And he can't see you, correct?
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure like
No,
that
he
didn't
doesn't see
change
me.
or anything like that.
No, he doesn't see me. Also, so I put this on here, and when Lenny was born, surrender came. I wanted to bring him to my faith, and I was having anxiety about finances and super anxiety about it because the world's just changing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this idea of like, I need more. Like I need better house. I need, bigger yard. And I think we'll always want more in our life. But I said to you that my biggest lesson has been presence. Like, what do we have now? This idea of the dash, right? Like this 1989 to whenever I die, I need to focus on the dash.
Right.
Like I need to stop worrying about like the next year and what's coming and what's next, and look at what I have in front of me. So I printed that whole thing. Because when I opened the Bible, it was like in Matthew. And then I was like watching The Chosen, and I was like the Sermon on the Mount, like that very same statement. So I printed it, and I'll show you. It's on my sink. So the entire thing about the lilies, and this will make sense later on, because in Matthew it says, consider the lilies. About how beautiful they are.
Mm-hmm.
But in Luke and in some versions of the Bible, it says the wildflowers. So anyway, we're driving the day before he proposes. We're driving to our other friend's house for Christmas festivities, and we're listening to the app and just reflecting, and then that the idea of like anxiety and the birds and all that stuff. And I look up, and there's this flock of birds, huge flock of birds. And so I would say from where the exit is to the house, it's probably like a mile and change. So it is significant that these birds are following, like it looked like they were following us.
Yeah.
And I kept saying to PJ, and he was like, Brittany, you're getting all godly on me. Like, I was like, I'm telling you.
Tone it down a bit.
Yeah. He's like, I know how you are. I'm like, I'm just saying. It's just weird, right? Like, I'm like, Paige, you can't deny they're following. It's just like, I'm like, you can't deny. He's like, no, I'm seeing what you're seeing. And so they follow, we pull into their driveway, and I look up, and they fly over us, and it is a flock of cardinals.
I don't think I've ever seen a flock.
No, not a thing.
They're usually alone, right?
It's not a thing. The only time that they go into a flock is when they are foraging for food.
Okay.
They neither reap nor sow, but yet your heavenly Father provides for them nonetheless.
That's chills.
Yeah. So I'm like, are you kidding? And I
And
was
you
like,
told me
PJ,
this,
and I
actually.
mean, obviously I didn't have my phone. I couldn't fumble my phone out to get it, but like, I was like, PJ, those are red bellies. And he's like,
Yeah.
no, like that's a flock of cardinals. And so I looked, and it was like, it's extremely rare. It's only in times of like really needing to find food.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, that's weird.
You're like, okay, that's weird. Yeah.
So fast forward to the next day, we're talking about,
Well,
I'm telling what?
I'm going to go back just a second, just because of the I guess linear part of the story. A couple days before this, I feel like you had looked at, I asked PJ, I think it was Friday or Saturday. I was like, hey, does she have any idea that you were about to do this? Like any whatsoever? He's like, no. As a matter of fact, like yesterday or the day before, she looked at me in bed and was like, we're living in sin.
I said, I don't know. I was like, I just feel convicted to tell you this, because I was listening to, I literally read the Bible every night right now. And I was like, I just feel like, we have done all of these things, like
Yeah.
you said, and we are so committed to our children living in the faith. Like we go to church every Sunday now, and like, we pray every night. My kid knows the Our Father, and I was like, something's missing. The unity is missing. It feels, and not because I like think we need it, and that's why it is. It's like, I love you so much, and I respect you so much as the father of my children, and I respect our children's love for us. Like if PJ and I hug, our girls run over to hug with us. Like,
Yeah.
we sleep
You
together.
guys are a unit.
Yeah, we are
Yeah.
a huge unit. And I was like, the only thing is missing is like watching watching my baby. And I can't remember the verse that I was reading, but it was something of like how, you lead by example, like actions, not just words. And I think of my kids and I'm like, I have 2 little girls and I don't ever want them to feel pressure at all from me to make choices in their life. But I do want to lead by example. And I want them to know that their father loved their mother so much and that we were one. And we call each other husband and wife.
Yeah.
Like we are going to be together forever. Like what is stopping the unity, you know? And also when the girls, like, we were on this road of getting the girls baptized and how hard it's been to find someone living in the faith.
Yeah.
And when I asked them, I said, well, we're not married. So why I can still get, the godparent has to be baptized and Catholic and all that other stuff, but like I can be whatever. And she said, we don't criminalize the children for the parents' sin.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, okay. That was a slap in the face. But it was a good mirror moment.
So you're like, we're living in sin, PJ.
So I'm like laying in bed and I said, I just feel convicted to tell you this. And I was like, don't take this any other way. I'm not forcing you into anything. But don't you think it's strange that we're not married? And he was like, what? I was like, I just feel like we're just kind of living in sin a little bit. Like, I mean, look, if we were not trying to like find our faith, I don't think I would even say this.
Right.
But the fact that we want to live by faith means that we have to live by faith. We cannot cherry pick this. And yesterday, for example, was the Feast of the Holy Family. And he said that he was like, marriage is a vocation. It is a sacrament. It is a calling to God. Like you are saying in front of like, in the Bible, when they talk about Joseph, like the the angel says to Joseph in the dream, like, take your wife, and so the idea of like being a family is so important, especially if that's where we're headed, right? We have 2 kids, we love them fiercely, we want them to grow up with the Holy Spirit. What are we missing? And I just was like, I was like, I didn't think it was going to happen this year. I thought maybe we was just going to be a starter conversation,
Right?
Like,
what was his response when you said this?
I don't remember.
Oh, he said, I'll consider your your offer.
I'll consider.
So I was like, okay, good. You've thrown her off. I'll consider your offer.
He definitely did throw me off because I didn't even think about it.
Which is very PJ, like very monotone.
Right.
I'm like, I'll consider your
I'll
offer.
consider that. I'm like, okay.
This is like days.
I completely
before.
forgot you said that.
So I had just had to throw that in there because
the most
like,
PJ response.
Yes. So basically we were notified that we were going to be coming to Kayla's house after and not eat brisket.
Okay, I'll talk about that later.
But after, she had been proposed to and just like, I was just like, it's happening right now. I remember just being like, it's happening right now. And like in the group chat, Lauren's like counting down. She's like 5 minutes. It's like,
I love
it. It was great. So just knowing that it was happening was really, really special. But he had told us only 2 days before, but everyone was just like, let's go. Like, just like, we're going to be there. We're going to get everything. We're going to make it so special for you. And I think it was even more special in a way. And I was more excited because like, I know how much it took for you to get there because I know that.
Yeah.
I think one thing, we can not talk about this if you want, but like your mom, because I struggle with this as well, but I think I have a different like way of dealing with it. But your mom getting remarried over and over again without getting into detail made you kind of question the sanctity of marriage and like how important it was.
Right.
Like for me, it was more like, I want to make sure that I'm having like, the sanctity of marriage is so special. I don't want that. You were like, I don't want it in a way that you don't want it at all. Like you were like,
right.
I don't believe in it. Where I was like, when I get married, I'm going to make sure that it's the one and I'm not going to do anything. We're going to work through our issues. Like, I'm not just going to take it casually where you were like, I'm not even going to go there because I don't see it. You didn't see the.
Yeah. I didn't. And not only that, but in the same way, just like in a different route, I truly do. I think I always revered marriage and I didn't want to be wrong.
Right.
That was my control.
Okay.
Like I had to control the fact that like, and here's the thing, not that I don't ever want to get divorced, but I was like, I need to know, like, I need to know what's going to happen at the end or I'm not going to do the beginning.
And as your friend watching you go through that and learn that you were safe in your safe spot and that you finally had made this decision and you gotten there was just so exciting for everybody. So it was like, Brittany's finally here. Like she's, you know, joining the married club.
So, I mean, in fact, here's the craziest part about it is like, I remember like looking around at everybody at the end. Cause so, we drive up to this, so we go to this park.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
So, all those things don't happen. I'm like, where did it come? Okay. We go to so all the things didn't work out. They end up at this park.
Which I think was more fitting.
It was definitely more, there's a God wink in there because at the beginning of the path, there's a cross on the tree. I'll send you some pictures on the tree into the path that led me to him was the cross, which was a very nice reminder up above that the path that's his path, right? Like it's not my path. Yeah. It's not my control. I don't get to say like how this ends or what this is his path.
Right.
And I'm just on it. And I have to surrender to that.
Yeah.
So, and we get there and I had different shoes on because it was cold and I like, I didn't know we were going to go.
I'll insert it.
And I, you know, it's funny. I wish I would have, I guess I wish I would have known, but I had my Uggs on and I had other shoes that I wanted to put on. And so we get there and she's like, okay, now you get out and go. I think she said something like scope for a location. I'm like, by the way, it's the winter solstice. It is the last day of the freaking year, or the shortest day of the year. I was like, I want to put my shoes on. I was like, can I put my shoes on? And she's like, yeah. I was like, can I at least put my shoes on? She kept rushing me out of the car. And I'm like, why are you rushing me, lady? I hear the girls going off in the back. They're, you know, our two girls are just chit chatting. The baby's sleeping.
And she's so like, put your red shoes on.
Well, I was putting them on anyway for the pictures, but I should have in the course of driving to them probably put them on, but I was like, oh, I'll just turn, you know. Yeah. And of course it was like taking forever to put them on. So she's getting, you know, like antsy, like, okay, just go. And I'm like, I'm going.
Yeah.
So then I like get out of the car and she goes, okay, you go down the path. And I think she said something like, go scope the location or something. And I was like, what?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Go right there. I'm not doing anything, just go.
You want me to, I'm gonna get the kids.
No, go. I love you. Go.
What are you doing?
You go. Go.
And she was like, yeah, you go. I'll be right there. I love you so much. And I was like, are you sending me to my death? What do you mean I love you so? What was this? Why did you? What was
stealing my children?
I know. I was like,
because I maybe would have thought that.
I did think that. I did because I was like, what? I was like, you're gonna carry all three kids, and like knowing Lenny was sleeping too. I was like, you're carrying all three kids. She's like, you just go. So I turn, and at this point I don't realize it's her husband, but I see this man in like a Carhartt like heavy jacket.
Yeah.
Like standing by, he's looking at the tree. He's such a sweet man, by the way. He was trying to hide and he wasn't hiding very well.
Oh, I didn't know this part.
Me, because I didn't know it was him, I was so creeped out.
You're in a strange dude right now. You freaked me out. I thought you were kidding.
Just keep going.
Because he had a gimbal. He's holding like this and he's standing near the tree like this.
I literally would have thought so.
I was like, I'm dying today. I am dying today. I think it's on the video. Like, I'm dying. Am I dying today? Are you, like, what is happening? And so I was like, I'm not going in the woods, Kayla. Like, I like, do you see this? You know, and Kayla's very like me. Like, she's very, you know, she sees the world around her. So like she's very, I'm like, are you not seeing what I'm seeing? Like,
yeah,
there's a random man in the woods. And she's like, just go. So then I hear PJ's laugh. And as soon as I hear his laugh,
you're like,
I knew everything made sense. And then I was like,
Did you know you were getting proposed to
at that moment?
Yes, you did. Okay.
I was like, because there's no way he's meeting me in the random woods.
But be like, I love you.
Merry Christmas. Unless I was getting a car. I was like, maybe this is where the car is coming from.
But the price is right.
And you get a car.
For Oprah. Yeah.
So then I'm walking closer. I see that it's John, and I just started. I mean, this is the craziest, you know, deep moment, right? So like weeks before I'd gone into confession, and as soon as I waited, I'm going down the path to get to confession, and as soon as I get through the door, I'm bawling my eyes out. As soon as I get to PJ, I am laughing so hard. I mean, pissing myself laughing because I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? What? Like, what? I was just talking about this. And I'm like, why is, and so, you know, he gives his speech and he was like, you know, in part of his speech, I don't remember all of it, but the part that I do remember is he was like, your walk in your faith is so inspiring now. And I just I just know that all of the things that have led us here are because of like how good of a mother and how faithful you are. And I was like, okay.
You're like, thanks.
I'm like laughing. And then he's like, and because he's such a big lug, like I never imagined him like getting on one knee. So he goes, with that being said, and I go, I knew it was happening. I was like, ooh. And so most of the photos are just me like just
they're so
giggling.
good. But they're
I'm laughing.
so good.
There's just so much joy. Like,
well,
it
there's
was
so
just
much joy. It's just so you.
Yeah.
Like it's just so you. Like at the moment, and just everything, and just so much. Again, like as your friend, watching you like lead up to this is just like
yeah. And what's even better? So then I noticed I see a photographer, and I'm like, who is that? And I was like hoping and knowing that it was our friend Chase.
Oh.
And so Chase and Lauren's my oldest friend. We've been friends for a decade.
Mhm.
And so I was like, oh my gosh. And then I hear her go, yay, you know, like I see all them. And then the girls come out of the car, and you know, that was a very special moment that like, she was like, mommy, you're going to get to marry daddy. And I was like,
and she gets to see that.
and she gets to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So then I like in my brain, I immediately see, cause I see Sully running, and I see Sully is Lauren's kid, and I see Loxley, who's Kayla's, and then my girls. And I was like, I just have this vision now of like the wedding, you know, I want it to be very small. My grandparents are in good health. And so we decided to do it in Philadelphia. And I didn't realize that my grandparents actually were married. So I'm going to take this all back for a second. When we were driving into the park, there was a cardinal that nearly hit our windshield. Kayla was like, I was like, you saw that, right? And she was like, yeah. I was like, I mean, when I tell you, it zoomed close, just as close as that.
Yeah.
And you know, that and the cross. And I was like, this all means stuff. And so from the, like, see, even with Lenny, my second born, I was like, I am very sentimental. Things mean things to me. And so as I've now been like, well, what's this going to look like? You know, I mean, after I said yes, we go back to Kayla's house, and you're there, Kara's there, Alicia's there, like all of my best friends.
Yeah.
That
you looked at me and you're like, I didn't
my
mean to
baby
get you out of bed. I wasn't in bed. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I know she's so pregnant though. I'm like, gosh, man, I'm so sorry. Well, because I think about me, and I'm like, I did not want to be out today, you know?
No, of course.
But like everybody's at Kayla's house, and they're all greeting us, and like I just lost it, because it was my baby shower all over again. And you know, we talked about this on the podcast. I wanted my baby shower to mean things, because I truly, truly mean it when I tell you that I value our friendship so much. And I valued every friendship in that room. And to have all those people surrounding us, and those people, by the way, are all married in relationships that I inspire to be. And so I was like, that is such a crazy way of God being like, you're on the right path, because I would, not that we weren't friends, but we weren't as good friends until like last year, right?
Yeah.
Until we had kids. And then like, you know, Lauren and I have always been deep, but like we've entered a totally deeper relationship now that she's married, and like, you know, we have kids and all of that stuff. Kayla and I were like, I don't even know what path I would ever walk with Kayla, because we are not from any of the same cut cloth.
Yeah.
But her heart is so pure.
Yeah.
You know, Kara and Alicia, I met through PJ. So like he is really good friends with their husbands, and Kara and I were pregnant with River and Liv at the same time. And now we have entered like a really cool part of our friendship. And then Alicia is like the coolest person you've ever met. I mean, she's just so cool.
Chill,
she's so
like,
chill.
She's so chill, and just like I don't see anyone ever butting heads with her.
No, you can't. She's not a head butter.
She's like a calming force.
Yeah. But I look around the room, and I'm like, these people are all from different walks of life, all from different ways of doing it. And they're all committed to their husbands, and they love them. And this is like, it's such a cool tribe. Like it was, and none of it happened by accident. I know this now. And so with that being said, I was like, I want the wedding to have so much mourning. So back to what we were saying about what it would look like. I was like, I'm going to have all these kids at the wedding, like for sure, you know? But my grandparents, when they were married, my grandfather was in the Air Force in the Vietnam War, and she was Thai. And so when he came home, obviously there was a lot of things that Vietnam veterans dealt with as far as, prejudice. And then obviously bringing home, you know, what they would, even though she was Thai, I mean, she's considered the enemy. So they were like 3 or 4 parishes, just like the baptism is happening, like where it feels like it's hard. they had to go to 3 or 4 parishes before they were they were allowed to get married in the church.
Yeah.
That parish is St. Gabriel's in Philly. So we decided we were going to get married there and do a full circle moment.
Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's okay. I have chills.
Because my grandmother means so much to me.
Yeah.
And like, obviously she changed the course of the life of our family by
Yeah.
moving here with all of the social pressures of being not only a Thai woman, but she's a dark Thai woman. And so they had dealt with a lot of prejudice growing up, even from his own mother, you know? And so I love my grandparents so much, and I want my grandfather to walk me down the aisle. Like there's just I can't think of any other way.
Yeah.
So if as long as he's in good enough health, but there's no way they would do it here because they just can't travel.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter anyway, because the meaningful moment for me would be St. Gabriel's. So, so there's that. But then I think about all that. I'm like, I don't need anything big. I just want that ceremony because like I had said to, my whole life, like it's between him, I, and God, and everybody else can be there. We'll have a big old ceremony where we're like, okay, so, we'll go in the Bahamas and do like a big like honeymoon ceremony with everybody there. But the reception. But the ceremony part, just to have that moment with my grandfather, because, when I was baptized, my grandfather put me on the altar. Because my father wasn't around. And so my grandfather was like, please take care of her.
Yeah.
And put me on the altar and said that. And it's so funny that, I came back. So I just like can't imagine any other way now.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. So, but it's just crazy. Like the cardinal and the faith. And then I go back and I look at my manifestation board. Ready for this?
Yeah. Wait,
there's a big ring on here.
Oh, I was going to say, oh.
And I didn't.
You didn't do it for the ring.
I did it because of the stick with us being like wanting success and like our. I think I had my iPod, my Truth Moms thing on here somewhere, but like I had like Amazon, maybe even new chapter, congratulations, whatever, like stuff like that. And then where is it? Oh, like personal growth. And then I was like, oh.
You're like, I didn't even know that was a ring. Because if we show the camera, and I'll get a picture of it before, but like, it's not really like a typical ring.
No, you wouldn't see it.
No, it's right there.
I'm like, where is it? Hold on. But then also I look at strong support system.
There you go.
That's the girls. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. But I love that I like in the middle of this
her future role
sooner than expected. Crazy, right? But you're like in your mind, and when I think it, when I put these on, I'm thinking of like, oh, we're gonna have a huge, I mean, this would be great, Truth Moms, huge, whatever. We're gonna be like making thousands of dollars. Like in my brain, I'm thinking of something so worldly. And
we didn't do bad this year, though.
We didn't. I know we did great.
Yeah.
I mean, but like it's just so funny that you're bring your kids to work day. Like we do that all the time. That came true.
They're here. Yeah.
I mean, true. I mean, like you have your home studio. It's there's a movie that we watched. It's a Jesus movie. It's called Light of the World. And in one of them, the quote is, God rarely shows up in the ways you think he will.
Yeah.
And I look at these manifestations boards and I still think they're good. I know how people feel them about like divination and stuff. I don't use it as like, it's the be all end all. They're good goals to work towards. But also these are things in your heart, like look at what was in my heart that I didn't know was there.
Right.
And I look back and I'm like, I had these in my heart this whole time.
Yeah. I
had envisioned it differently, but it didn't show up in the way that I thought it would, but it is what I want. Like, I had the ring on the freaking thing, and I would have never thought of getting, engaged, let alone, like I just didn't think that was a part of my plan.
Because when you did this, it was last year around this time, and I believe you were really thinking about getting married after you said Lenny was born, which was February. And then I remember I thought you were going to be engaged in September. You were like really there.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Well, at least Kayla told me that, I think.
Oh,
I think we were.
Because we thought about we were gonna get married. She had a house in Destin, and they were like, "Let's do it before we sell it." And we're like, "Oh, okay." We're
and then what was funny is I went down to Florida, and it was my anniversary weekend.
Yes,
and it was also Kayla's anniversry. We're like, let's just do it this weekend, and then we'll all celebrate our anniversaries together. So I just remember September being like, maybe we should get it all done.
I love that. That is funny.
Yeah,
that is crazy how that happened. That I think maybe that's when it really started to settle.
I think
for him.
that's about when,
because I think September, October is when he talked to my grandfather.
Okay, Yes.
So surely that must have had, an influence. And that's great. It's a good influence to have for us.
Yeah.
Like, again, he's not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere.
No.
We know that. It's not, I don't need an exit strategy. Like I thought I did, I don't want to go anywhere. But how nice is it to like, I was like, I get to call you my fiance. Like, it's
you're a
cool.
fiance.
Yeah. I'm a fiance. But yeah, so that's where we're at. So when we launch this episode, I'll just do the announcement then.
Yeah. Which is in 2 days.
So now we're just in planning mode, which is crazy because I think I want it to be small, but I get weddings are expensive, and no matter how small you think it's going to be nuts. So I'm a little bit nervous about that because
but you got some vets on your side, like, that can say, hey, like, worry about this.
Yeah, you literally said, was it you and Kayla were like, actually, it's nice that you're waiting to like announce it because
I asked you, I was like, hey, are you going to announce it like tomorrow? And you were like, no. I was like, okay, that's good because people are going to just start asking you what the date is, where you're going to get married. This, like, people have no chill because they just feel like that's the next thing to ask. Right. Just like when you get married, they're like, okay, so when are you having kids? It's just like, can I just enjoy this? It's like, hey, it's the holidays. You and PJ just like go into your little unit in your house and cozy up and just enjoy being engaged for a second because it gets crazy. And then you turn into a bridezilla. And you're like, I'm not going to be a bridezilla, but you will be.
Well, I don't want to be a bridezilla until you're done being pregnant. That's like, we only get like one bitchiness between the two of us. We're like,
so it's my turn right now.
You're allowed to be bitchy now, and then I get to be. I'm just kidding. But no,
I'm not very nice right now. I will say that.
I don't think you're not very nice. I think
I have boundaries right now that I didn't know I had that I have. But that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole nother episode. We'll get into in a second.
But yeah, so that's really the end of it. That's where we're at. We're at this part where it's probably going to be a longer engagement, which I'm okay with, and not too long. Here's the thing.
That's what people are going to ask.
With my grandparents, I don't think we have much time.
Right.
I feel like I'm racing against the clock with them because they're just always every other day they're sick. So I would like the ceremony itself to be, but then we want to do it correctly. Within our faith, and within our faith, there's like I think it's like a 3 to 6 month, marital council thing. And so I want to do that right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking it probably won't be until like October of next year. But then I thought that would be really cool.
Yeah.
His birthday is when we would get married. And then my birthday, like in January, is when we would do like a reception, whatever, because it's like a great Christmas break for everybody because it's, in the Bahamas.
I approve that timeline.
I see. I like it.
It's our birthdays too. So I can.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. And then you'll like, cause I also thought I know, I think about you guys.
Making it about me.
but it is. But like the people that I really want there, I'm like, you're going to literally just have a baby, And so I don't want to like make it difficult for her. So we'll plan as we go. But honestly, I'm super chill about it because I got what I wanted.
Yeah.
No,
I got what I want.
But the hard part's over, which is like the part of getting there to just appreciate the sanctity of marriage. And so we're there and we're making some plans, and like any like wedding planners out there, if you guys have anything you want to
just let Kayla do it.
Yeah. Just let go, surrender to the whole thing.
I highly suggest, I will say this, getting somebody or finding a destination. Well, I guess you're doing a ceremony, you're not going to do a reception after that. So yeah,
I'll probably just if we do the ceremony in Philly, what I probably would just do is like a dinner, like literally like
dinner,
like a Bertucci's, like literally like the old school or like olive, like
a Maggiano's kind of dinner.
Yes. Like just like the cheesiest reception with all of our friends. Go get some pizza. And then, maybe like do one thing cool in the city with my friends for photos. And then because
you got to dance though.
Yeah, I will dance at the reception in Bahamas when
I feel like you're gonna want to dance the night that you get married.
Am I?
I'm taking you out to the club.
The club.
The club. We're going back to when we go to the club.
Too bad they don't have those 18 and under anymore.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, we should go to those, but that they probably wouldn't allow us in.
I wonder if there is any Philly club. I mean, it's so different.
You can go to Delilah's. Just kidding. That's a strip club.
I have an interesting past with that. Not me personally, but
I have an interesting past with Delilah's. I'll tell you that off. It's a weird story, but we're talking about your engagement, not strip clubs.
Sorry.
Leave it to us, like in our walk with God. Like we've been very, like obviously, like we still cuss. Like we're working on that. And I saw something about that. I wanted to kind of like just talk about that for a second. Where I think, did you send it to me or did I send it to you? I can't remember. But it was like, I just started my walk with God. Like we're getting there. I'm not just gonna immediately like stop doing all the things.
Holy.
Yeah, like and like even if I'm like in like the best part that I can ever get to, I don't know if I'll ever stop completely cussing.
No.
Do I watch myself? Yes. Like, do I take God's name in vain a lot less? Yes. I feel this sting in my heart.
Or I say I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Or like rephrase it. Yes. But like, it's part of who I am.
I'm
it's
like,
how I feel.
Yeah.
It's
if you guys want to talk about gaming again, like I'm like level 1 Christian, you know, like I'm.
I think you're level 2. I think.
Okay. Maybe I got the level 2.
You're really good at scripture.
I, you know what? Because I'm a psycho about history. I love history, and I think that's where it sucked me back in because I was like, oh, I could piece together historical parts and things like that, and then find the word there. But I just love facts, and I love that's why we have Truth Moms. It's the same. The obsessiveness I have right now about the Bible is no different than the obsessiveness that I've had about health.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, the Bible is like the max gen of faith.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel like.
No, for real.
And yeah, so it's going to be a really cool journey, and I'm excited, and I'm not going to put any pressure on it because, you know, what got me there wasn't pressure. It was patience. And, you know, the time between, the promise and the provision is nobody else's but ours. So,
Love this.
the end of that.
Congratulations,
Thank
Brittany.
you. Thanks for being there. I love you.
Yeah. Love you.
Thanks for tuning in to Truth Moms. Remember, mamas, the truth starts at home.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It really helps us reach more moms like you. And plus, it's free.
Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and we will keep dropping those truth bombs. Bye.